2 guns, 3 knives found in the backpack of a middle school student.
The 13-year-old student who brought the weapons to school, Jenkins Middle School, tonight is behind bars.
Our Heather Crawford joins us now with the details. Heather.
Anthony, Putnam County Sheriff Gator DeLoach calls today's discovery alarming. The sheriff says his department learned about the weapons through an anonymous tip. Now, within minutes of getting that tip, deputies responded to Jenkins Middle School in Palatka. When they searched the 13-year-old boy, they found 2 guns. One was loaded. They also say they found 3 knives concealed in his pockets and in his backpack.
Clearly, to me, if someone brings a firearm on a school campus, their intent is very clear, and it's to harm other students.
Now, this is actually the second time this year that deputies recovered weapons from a school there in Putnam County. The sheriff's now urging parents to be more involved in their children's lives, saying that we just cannot continue to accept this as the norm. As for that teenager, he is charged with 2 counts of possession of a firearm on a school campus, and the sheriff tells us that more charges could be pending. Anthony?